A very good evening, everyone. I was in my 6th or 7th grade when the word love, for the first time, challenged my innocence. It was a normal day at school. And then I see a group of my classmates clustered up at one corner of the room, gossiping about something and curtly looking towards me. Have you guys had that feeling when you already know that something is about you? I had that feeling. By the end of the day, I did not even have to keep guessing. The news spreads like wildfire. Tarana's parents had a love marriage. Oh my God. Now, if you guys are not already aware about India, love marriage was a taboo back then. A marriage can be called a love marriage if the boy and the girl goes against their family's wishes, runs away from home, and brings disgrace to the family. And this conditioning of an anti-love marriage culture starts right from when we are kids. So quite naturally, my schoolmates pulled out their moral compasses and decided that day they should be scrutinizing my family. Now again, if you're not able to fathom it yet, it was a devastating experience for me. My parents obviously knew that it was not the correct time or age for me to know about the conditions behind their marriage. So they never specifically spoke up about their marriage or about their love marriage. And I remember spending my vacations at both my paternal as well as maternal grandparents' family. So I never knew that there was a time when my parents fought against their respective families to be together. The only way I knew that my family was different was because at one of my grandparents' house, I would be praying to all of the Hindu gods, and at my other grandparents' house, God changes his name to Allah. So when my friends came to me with their approximately 11 years of experience on life and told me that your parents are a disgrace to the society, I did the most natural thing any other 11-year-old would do. I cried and I went to my class teacher and complained about them. And my class teacher, like any responsible building block of the society, responded by scolding my classmates, asked them to never do it again, and asked them to apologize to me. And that was the end for them. For me, however, it was the beginning of a hide-and-seek relationship with love. I kept on thinking how my parents could have done anything so wrong. Were they really such bad people? But again, how do you really question the integrity of your own parents? They have introduced you to the most beautiful things in life. They send you to the best schools. They gave you everything that you asked for. They are your ma and papa. And ma and papa can never be wrong. That evening, I mustered up enough courage and asked my mom just to confirm if they really have a love marriage. And my mom, she would never lie to me. So she said, yes. I'm pretty sure she said a lot of other words after that to justify the conditions behind that. But at that point, my friends' words were the ones that were actually burning through my ears. I was heartbroken. How dare my parents love? Over the next couple of weeks, I started justifying my parents' actions to myself. And I came to the conclusion, love is not bad. My parents are not wrong. love marriage shall be normal, and someday I'll have a love marriage of my own. The words, I love you, seemed satisfying to me after that. Instead of the general response that we do give in schools, like, ooh, someone said I love you to someone, I would genuinely feel happy when someone would accept their feelings towards someone. So one evening, while doing my homework and before my parents came back from work, I wrote the words, I love you, on an aluminum chocolate wrapping for the first time. And they were not directed to someone. Those words were just pure emotion. Right then, my parents came back from work and my dad saw that aluminum wrapping. Now again, if you're not already aware of the Indian culture, love until a certain age is not allowed in India. And I was not in the correct age bracket to love. So naturally, my dad was angry. He scolded me, and that was the end of it. For him, definition of love once again changed for me. So, my parents can love. But then again, I have never heard my parents say I love you to each other. They will show their love and care for each other in many different ways, but they have never said I love you. So I love you is for a person that you want to marry. And a love marriage is when you get married against your parents' wishes. So through careful calculations, I figured out couples in love marriage couples in an arranged marriage do not say I love you before they get married. How will they? They have their entire families sitting with them, trying to get them together and convince them to spend their entire lives together. So in front of their parents, how can they say I love you? So saying I love you is a taboo reserved for people who wants to stand against the society. But love, on the other hand, is simple. Just love. For me was Ma, Papa, and Bhaiti. Bhaiti in my language means brother. So the first time around, when I made a boyfriend, I was dying to use the words I love you. For me, I love you was not the emotion. It was the person. So I impatiently waited for a couple of days for him to realize that I am that I love you person for him. And when he did not say anything, I made him know that he is my I love you person. And his response was, ah, I love you too. I mean, definitely he must not have said ah, but that's how I picture. I had many I love yous after that. 2 breakups, 3 heartbreaks, and approximately 5 liters of tears later, when last year I had a series of counseling sessions. This particular story about my classmates came up. It was long forgotten otherwise. I'm much more matured than the 11-year-old that I was. I now have a better clarity of the various shades of human emotions. Love marriage in India is no more a taboo. Those classmates of mine, they themselves had their own share of I love yous. And as for me, I realized I love you is an emotion. You say it when you feel it. You don't say it because you have a person to whom you can say it. Thank you.